The Las Vegas Raiders have fully concluded this season's OTA period and are now just a couple of days away from the start of mandatory minicamp. Now, in this video, I wanted to break down pretty much everything you need to know from the news, the notes, the highlights, the observations, but most importantly, I want to break down all of the standouts over the last couple of weeks during practice, some of the guys that really made a name for themselves among not only the fans, the front office, but more importantly, the coaching staff are absolutely stunned by a couple of these younger guys and veterans as well, and we're going to break down everything you need to know in this video. However, before we dive in, I want to start off this video by giving credit where credit is due, and that is with all of the Raider media members right here. This is from Vegas Sports Today. Make sure you guys go follow them, man. They post so much highlights from practice. You need to go follow them, okay? If you haven't already done so, you're going to regret it, right? They're on YouTube, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. There's some other names that you should follow as well. But with that being said, let's dive into some highlights. Now, in some news and standouts. I do want to give a disclaimer. I don't have footage for exact players. It's just the overall practice and a bunch of guys. So the footage isn't going to match up perfectly, and I do apologize for that. However, the first standout at the Las Vegas Raiders OTA period, and again, there's still a lot of work to be done over the next couple of weeks. But the one guy who's really made a name for himself is Dont'e Thornton. Okay, now, obviously, coming into the draft, they needed a wide receiver. Yes, they have Jacoby Myers. Yeah, they have Trey Tucker. But the depth behind those guys just was not good. Jack Bech, okay, we like him, right? Second round pick, I'm all in. Dont'e Thornton in the fourth round. Okay, now we have some weapons. Now we have some guys we really like. And Dont'e Thornton has been a guy already, right, throughout the first couple of weeks who has really proven to be better than a lot of people think. Okay, now, what do I mean by that? Coming into the draft, Dont'e Thornton was a guy who was primarily thought of as a deep threat. Someone who's going to run skinny posts and go balls, right? Nines. However, it's seeming like it's going to be a little bit different, right? Now, Chip Kelly, Jacoby Myers, Jackson Powers Johnson have already praised Dont'e Thornton, and they have said, listen, his route tree is a lot better than a lot of people think, and it's getting better every single day. Now, if Dont'e Thornton can continue to improve each and every single practice and throughout the next couple of weeks and months as we prepare for training camp, he could be a day one starter for this team. His physical traits and potential have already generated a ton of excitement around this coaching staff, and we already know he's got elite size at 6'5". He's got elite speed at 4'3". Right, and you pair that up with his ability to work, the work ethic that he has, man, again, I am all in, and I don't see why anyone else who is a Raiders fan or a Raiders coach shouldn't be all in. This dude has really good potential, untapped, raw, star power. Now, again, they're going to have to get it out of him. They're going to have to work on the route running. We're going to have to work on the footwork, but he's got that potential, the rare size, speed, and quickness. Again, I am all in on this receiver core, and Jack Bech looks really, really good just in terms of footwork. I'm excited about this entire receiving core. They all can block, too. Now, another thing to really get excited about, guys, is Geno Smith being a leader. We have, kind of Pete Carroll setting the tempo of practice. Yeah, he's 73 years old, but this dude is doing some crazy things on the practice field that you just wouldn't expect, right? He's got the gloves on. He's out there catching balls. He's, having fun, having some WWE wrestling matches with some of the players. I mean, he is just, a breath of fresh air, for the Las Vegas Raiders right now. So that is another thing that I really wanted to state in this video. And however, before we get any further, you see Geno Smith getting some reps in with Raheem Mostert and Ashton Jeanty. I do want to, have you guys do me a little favor, okay? Hit the like button if you haven't already done so, man. It helps out the channel so much, okay? But more importantly, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Guys, it is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family, and we will be covering the Raiders throughout the entirety of mandatory minicamp, and then they'll take about a month off after that, and then we'll get into training camp, okay? So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It is completely free. It doesn't cost anything, and we got you guys covered throughout the entirety of this year's offseason, preseason, and regular season as well. Now, there was one rep in here where Cam Miller was supposed to be practicing or throwing to Ashton Jeanty. It's right here, okay? This is literally the clip. So you see, okay, let's back it up. You see him getting some water, and then he says, and he sees Cam Miller going up, right? But he notices, oh, wait, Ashton Jeanty is getting this rep. No, I need to take this rep. This is I'm the quarterback here. I need this rep. I'm sorry, rookie, but I'm getting with Ashton Jeanty right here, so he quickly switches. He's trying to build that chemistry. There's John Spytek in the background like, hey, we love that out of our quarterback right here. Yeah, love that little fake out go ball. Beautiful job. So again, I love to see that from Geno Smith, getting some extra reps with Ashton Jeanty. But another standout from practice is Darien Porter. The Raiders spent, a third-round pick on Darien Porter with the idea of getting him into the starting lineup as soon as possible. And they released Jack Jones. They lost Nate Hobbs in free agency. And they had a couple of jobs open from last year. Darien Porter has been a perfect fit, okay? And he works perfectly within a Pete Carroll, Patrick Graham type of defense. He's got, that 6'3" frame. He is a little bit light at 195 pounds. And he's going to really have to put in a lot of work to transition to cornerback in the NFL, right? Obviously, spent the majority of his time in college at wide receiver, so he can catch football. We know that. Now, again, he's getting a lot of first-team reps, so it feels like he's learning a lot quicker than a lot of people would have at least thought. But Jeremy Chin came out and said, listen, he's confident. And it's really cool to see. He understands what he wants to do. And Patrick Graham has also been really impressed. He actually was quoted saying, when you have a rookie player coming in, if you can see the effort, him getting on the same page with how he play, that's a positive. And then, if he can eliminate the repeat mistakes, you're on the way to becoming a dependable football player. So, already, Patrick Graham has been really impressed within Darien Porter, and that is someone that I expect we're going to see a lot over the next few years. Hopefully, the next couple of, a decade or more. So, I'm excited about that. Now, another name or a couple of names of guys who have looked really good throughout practices thus far. Eric Stokes has been, CB1 on the outside boundary. He's been huge. Darien Porter, another guy we just talked about. I do want to say Jalen Smith had one of the first interceptions of OTAs. So shout out to Jalen Smith. It looks like Devin White, Elandon Roberts will be your starting linebackers. Those guys are doing a ton of work. Tyree Wilson is putting in a lot of work as well. They are moving him all along this defensive line right now. He's gotten bigger. He's stronger. And with Christian Wilkins and Adam Butler missing some time, Tyree Wilson has been very versatile for this defensive line. And because those guys are out, Tonka Hemingway and JJ are also some guys who have been getting some extra work here or there. A couple of other guys who have looked pretty good throughout these practices. Alex Kappa as a overall leader has been really good and really solid for this team. Ian Thomas has been very reliable as a third-string tight end. So we'll see how he does going forward. But overall, those are the biggest standouts from these practices. I'm excited how they develop going further. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.